Hey, what's up, everybody? Ross Thomas and
David Gomar.
And this is the Shooters Club. We are recording episode numero cinco, number 5. By this time, episode number 4 will be out. We took a couple weeks off because, you know, life happens.
Busy season.
Busy season. David's busy. I'm busy. And life just happens. But welcome to episode number 5, everybody. We are stoked to have you here. And our audience is slowly growing.
Yeah.
Looks like our views are up. They're consistent, even though we took a couple weeks off. So thank you, everybody out there, for that.
Yeah, for real. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it all.
Absolutely. We're also live on Instagram. So if anybody wants to ask us anything, you guys right there, ask us anything. It can be gear related, business related, shooting related. Remember, we're not pros, but...
So what actually do we do? Let's introduce ourselves on our end.
On Instagram and here. Well, I'm Ross Thomas. I am first and foremost a husband, a father, and I own a gym here in town in Modesto, California. And I love photography and video. I've been moving more towards the video side.
Yeah, baby.
The last couple years, it seemed, but man, I love those creative things. What about you, man?
I'm a wedding filmmaker here in the area, and we shoot a bunch of videos, weddings, and we're moving into the commercial side of the business
Quite quickly.
Yeah. So I'm excited, but our main focus is wedding films, and so tailor some questions to that if you want.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah, so ask us anything here on Instagram about, anything really. Good morning to you, wherever you are. Good afternoon or good evening. And we'll get going. So what have you been up to this last week, man?
Last
or
week,
2 weeks.
You know what?
2 weeks.
I had 2 weeks off. I shot in Modesto, here, we're our hometown. We had a wedding. It went great. Letty and I both shooting on the GH5s. Everything went great. We shot on a rooftop. Images came out really good. If you guys want to see that teaser video, it's already up on our Capture Color Weddings page, and it's our latest teaser. You guys can check it out. Modesto, there's murals in there. It's an emotional video, so check it out. And we had our photo shoot yesterday for our company in Yosemite. Yeah.
You showed me that picture, one of the pictures, and it looks really good.
It looked really good. Shout out to Purple Ash Photo.
Dude.
Yeah?
Does she do yoga?
Yeah, she does. Do you know her?
I follow her on Instagram, and I swear there's like a Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah,
a short-haired girl.
Yeah.
A white Toyota 4Runner, and I think her license plate says like Ash.
Purple Ash.
Yeah,
Purple
something like that.
Ash Perp. Yeah, Ash Perp. Yeah.
And
I was asking her about that.
I was looking at her the other day, kind of like creepily probably, and I was like, "Is that the same person?" I've never seen her.
That is her.
I've never seen her on her Instagram, so I didn't know what she looked like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll yell at her.
That's funny.
One of these days.
Why does she do yoga like next door or something?
She does yoga at a yoga studio, kind of close to our gym.
That's dope. Yeah, it's small world.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll introduce myself to her.
She went and shot her photos because we did a wedding with her, and like we just kind of hit it off. We're like, oh man, like she's super cool, and you know, we have to redo our branding and kind of just start showing more of ourselves. And
she does a lot of like that epic stuff. I think I found her because my parents live in San Luis Obispo County, and she does a lot. I think around there in
like
San
adventure
Luis,
style,
like in San Luis Obispo.
Yep, and she's super good. Super chill. And funny story about her plates, she had to like let them know it wasn't wasn't a
weed.
Yeah, a weed reference. So she had to like send a letter to the state and let them know it's a business. Like,
and you got Ash in there.
Yeah.
Funny,
Ash
man.
Perp.
That's funny.
So super cool. She did amazing on the shoot.
It's not really good. Ash Perp Dank.
No. So you can check out that photo. I believe her Instagram's Purple Ash.
Something like that.
We'll tag it on the notes.
Yeah. We'll throw up something there.
But yeah, so that's what we were up to. And we do have a big announcement that we made a new purchase. But we'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what we've been up to.
Nice.
So just redoing our photos. That's going to go up on the website. And the purpose of that is we want to show more. We want to book more weddings in Yosemite. We want to show ourselves, hey, we come out to Yosemite. We're in the area, and kind of put a face to our work. And So, you know, part of that is having a photo shoot done. It's the first
Sure.
photo shoot we've done together. Like
Sure.
me and my girlfriend, we run the business together.
Branding is so key, man.
Yeah.
So key.
So that's our first step to like, okay, let's really start that branding and putting ourselves up front and so people can get to know us, because you really want the clients and customers to invest in you, right? You want, what's going to set you apart is yourself, I believe. And,
well, it's an emotional experience, and if they see those pictures and they see your website and they're like, it makes me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
I love like the majesty of their pictures.
Yeah.
Like I want my video to look like that.
You want them to connect with you and say, that's my people, you know, like, hey, they're out in Yosemite, wherever we're at. It's like, that's our people. And that's the clients we want to reach is the adventurous couple. So we have to be showing that.
Yep.
Right?
That's such a good business tip right there. Like I'm still learning that.
Yeah.
Like how to identify your target market, your target demographic, and then how to show that you can deliver.
You have to, if you want to sell to them, you have to put yourself in that position, kind of show that you can be there, you know, like just sell the whole experience.
Exactly.
You know, and that's part of it. Going out to shoots, spending the day out there. We had a ton of fun.
Nice.
Hurt my foot a little bit from running around. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's what we're up to. Kind of working that out.
Nice. So along those lines of like marketing and branding and stuff like that, we're in like a big planning phase of redoing all our marketing for the gym, specifically like the cross training. So we talked about like identifying who you're trying to go after and then showing, like exemplifying that in your branding. And that's kind of what we did. Today is Monday, the 4th of November, I think. And we kicked off our new way that we kind of branded ourselves in our cross training room. So unfortunately, I didn't have all the video and photo to align with that right now, but we'll get there eventually.
How do you decide like how you're gonna do it? Like,
honestly, it's just spitballing with other people that I trust. My wife. You kind of come to the conclusion. My wife and certain people in the gym and in our staff, you come to the conclusion that over the course of like the last couple of years, people have asked like, "Oh, what is it that you do?
Yeah.
What is it that you do? Who's your target market? Who's your demographic that you're going after?" And you kind of just slowly figure that out, and then you have to make decisions. I came up with the 3 F words, like force, fit, and flex, and those are the style of workouts that kind of those words kind of exemplify those styles. And now we have to go shoot video and photography to show those off.
So you want to have those like keywords that kind of
pop,
you know?
Exactly. The words don't start with vowels.
Yeah.
It's like F words. It's a hard a consonant, you know. We have an X in there with flex and fit and force, and they're words that are brandable.
Yeah, and that's the thing with owning a business. You have to kind of know that. Like on our end with weddings, we want adventurous weddings, you know, authentic weddings, you know, heartfelt weddings.
Yep.
And you kind of have to find those keywords and kind of push, you know, like kind of start creating your marketing, your videos to those keywords. So then when you kind of create your customer avatar, like who that person is that looking for that force workout, right? Like then you can market specifically to those people.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's what you're going to start doing with the videos, right?
Yeah, we have to kind of educate them first on what it is. And that's the most expensive and one of the hardest things to do is to educate your customers or potential customers on what it is that you do. It's tough, man, especially if you're doing something that where you're trying to be different, right? Yeah. Like think like CrossFit or Les Mills body pump. I don't know if you know what that is.
No,
or certain like key fitness
body pumping over here.
Key fitness terms that have been like branded. They've already like branded what they do, and so people already have an idea going in. Yeah. But us having to educate the customers is the toughest thing.
You know what? And I'm finding with owning a business is like educating the customer is huge, because a lot of times like I forgot to mention I had a shoot for a winery for an ad on Friday. You let me borrow some lights. Yep. Didn't end up using them. Forgot light stands. but is educating your customer on like how are they going to use the video? You know, like you have to go beyond just delivering, at least on my end. Just delivering the video is not enough. You have to educate how are you going to use the video?
So many platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Exactly. I'm like, and I'm having a meeting and I'm explaining to them how you're going to post it. And what I'm realizing is education is a big part of the business that you can offer someone. It's
for sure.
Hey, we're going to teach you how to advertise the video, how to hashtag it, how to post it, because
it's going to help them out.
I feel like my job doesn't end when I deliver the video. It's like I have to walk them through. And if I want the video to be a success, I kind of have to take that extra time.
Yep.
Because I'm early in the career. I feel like I'm not going to charge for that time now. I'm going to take it as learning experience.
Oh yeah. Master that side of your business too.
But it's another thing in my pocket that I could offer. Education. Let me educate you on how to post the video. Here's the Instagram story. Here's your actual Instagram post. Here's your YouTube video.
Well, and it shows
here's your Facebook ad.
It shows that you care about the success of your client as well.
Seeing it all the way through.
Yeah, it's not just like, well, here's the video. See you later.
See ya. Here's a Dropbox link.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. I feel like the businesses now they need so much help just because it's not just getting the video and putting it on TV. It's not
not everybody has had a years of experience in the space that they're in necessarily.
Exactly, and that's what I'm finding.
They're figuring it out as they go.
That's what I'm finding out. It's a new business. They just purchased this winery, and this can happen with with any company or any business. Is they buy it and they realize, hey, we need to start marketing. They start to pick up the ball. They can't do everything. They don't know what to do.
But yet they're bogged down on like a ton of different things that they also didn't know.
They're trying to figure everything out.
Yep.
How do I do this? How do I do that? That's where we come in. That's where I can say, hey, let me educate you a little bit, and then this is what we can offer you.
Make yourself valuable.
Yep.
Exactly. Let's go through a couple of these questions. Let me go.
What do we got?
Okay. Let me go all the way up to the top so I don't overlook anybody. All right.
We need a little questions like music bumper made.
Boom.
There we go. Is that it?
That's it. Okay. How do you change birthday party for photo shoot? How do you charge?
Birthday party for a photo shoot?
It all depends on what you're delivering, I guess, and what you're.
How much do you want to make?
Yeah.
How much are you worth?
Exactly. That's a really tough question. What made you choose Sony, and what is your favorite setup for weddings and events? I chose Sony. I actually have a blog article on the Brotographer.com kind of about that, why I originally bought the A7R II and sold my Canon 5DS. Mainly, it's for amazing autofocus, the EVF. Some things about the camera are slower, but overall I was faster. And then the ability to jump between photos and videos immediately. Like shooting photography 1 second and 4 seconds later shooting video. So that was from Matt T.
And let me touch base on that. As far as Sony for weddings, the autofocus is huge. If you're using a gimbal work. My setup for using Sony on weddings is we had a 24-1.4. And that was my girlfriend Letty was on that. We work as a team. So if you have a second shooter, you can have one on a wide, and then I was on the 85-1.4.
Sure.
And we kind of rocked that all day.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit here and find some more questions. Where do you get most of your wedding bookings? Facebook, Instagram? I don't do weddings, so what about you, man?
Wedding bookings. Vendor referrals. You want to have your vendor referrals. You want to have a good relationship with the photographers, and just any type of vendor that works a wedding. Make sure you introduce yourself. You're a nice person. You kind of you want to give the vendors, the Instagram clip. You want to add value to them where they say, hey, you're someone that I want to work with again. Yep. That's number one is leave a good feeling in everyone where they're like, hey, I want to work with them again. So vendor referrals is number one. Photographers get booked first. They can refer you a lot. And then we have our wedding wires, all those advertising avenues you can do, and then Instagram.
But mainly, don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. Number one is stay humble. I feel like stay humble. Say hi to all your vendors.
You can
provide value.
You don't even you don't even have to be that humble. if you think you're amazing, just don't be a jerk about it. Like with the photographers, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be jostling for position with each other, because I see all these things all the time on Facebook where photographers are like, this video person did this, or the video person is like, this photographer is like stepping in front of my tripods like during the middle of the photo shoot.
I've never had. Like, if you're gonna work a wedding with photographers, you're a team. You know, you're both there for the bride and groom.
Don't have an ego.
You're there for them. You know, don't make it about you.
Yep.
And people remember that. They remember how you made them feel that day.
Exactly.
And you get the referrals.
Exactly. Kind of like, you're kind of like a referee. You don't notice the good ones, and you really notice the bad ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In a sports game.
Yeah. I know exactly, like, the bad experiences I've had. I know exactly that person. I'm like, I don't want to work with them again.
Yeah.
They're not getting a referral from me, and I don't want a referral from them, you know? So number one, and then we built great relationships with photographers, is number one is build great relationships with the vendors is number one. Leave a good feeling. Provide value. Give them the videos, tag them, make sure you send it to them, let them know, hey, share it, provide value to your vendors. That's number one.
Awesome. Nice. Okay. Got another question. We'll do a couple more questions and then we'll move on. How do you price that, or how do you charge for that side of the business, the education side? Well, I think that was from Nick Shoots Stories on Instagram. I think what David was talking about right now is that he's not really perfected that side of his business, and he's honestly doing it to help out the client, and he's not charging for that yet.
Yeah, that's something that I'm building up, that I'm noticing, like, okay, there's a market for educating the client, which I think is something that I'm going to just add on top of the total price of the video. It's like, okay, usually it takes me 2 hours to show them how to post, what to hashtag, and kind of walk them through the whole process. I'm going to add that onto the price, but I'm not going to tell them, hey, I charge you for education price. Like, it's just going to be added, hey, $400 for, 2 hours. Whatever it is, you kind of just add that, but you know internally on your spreadsheets that education took an extra 2 hours. So you add it yourself. They don't really know that you're pricing, unless you want to make that part of your package, which
some of it is very beneficial to you as well, I would imagine. Like, let's say for the winery that you were doing, they want to post the video on YouTube, but they're also a wedding venue, or just a venue in general. Yeah. You want to tell them, listen, don't just post like awesome wedding. Yeah. You want to say like wedding at beautiful winery wedding with that's keywords.
You want to title it what people are searching for.
Exactly.
They're not searching for John and Mary's wedding at,
because how's Joe Schmo going to know that? You
want to label it, hey, heartfelt wedding at winery, the specific name of the winery, and, groom cries, so because brides will look up
best Calaveras wedding venue.
Exactly. Think Google and what people are searching. That's what you want to name your videos.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just provide value. So I guess not charging for it yet, but maybe one day as you develop your package, if you can put it into something that's tangible, let's say I will do this, 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 and this, then they can choose to buy it. But if you're just
ideally, you want to let them know that you're adding value. Like you want to let them know, hey, if you book me, I'm adding the education part of it. I'm gonna walk you through the whole video. Yep. Not necessarily the item line on how much it costs, but just let them know that that's something that you're adding to of value.
And you kind of working it out in the beginning with them it's helping you too, because it's like a stand-up comic who goes out during the middle of the week and works on material. Yeah. In the beginning, you're just working on material. You're like, okay, I should charge for this in the future, and that really didn't provide that much value, so whatever, I'm not going to charge for it.
Still working it out, so we'll see. But it's something that I'm noticing that businesses, like, they need. It's like they need the education, and that's extra time. You spend the time on it, you need to be paid for it. You need to be compensated. So,
like, we are with a T-shirt vendor, clothing in general, and he takes the time to sit down with us to say, this material's like this material's like this. I could do this type of hit on a hat. If you did the puff like this Nike hat right here,
he gets better sales because of it.
And I keep going with him. He's on it. I like that people take the time, and I might have a little background on it, My wife doesn't always like to hear me talk too much.
Yeah.
So it's nice having somebody else explain those same things to her, where it's like, oh no, you actually need to think about this.
It's actually worth it. Yeah.
It's, this is going to be, 3 inches is way too big on a hat. It might need to be 2.5 or whatever, I might say the same thing and she's going to ask why. And I kind of know why in the back of my head. Like it just, I don't think it would look good, but somebody else can explain it and take the time to explain it. Then of course I'm going to go with him.
That's part of this like sales process. You're like, damn,
Exactly.
this guy knows his stuff. I want to go with them again. I trust them. You build that trust.
Let's do one more question and then we'll move on. We've taken a good amount of time. How do you get engagement? That is, that's an interesting.
How do you get what?
I guess engagement. Are you asking about how do you get engagement, like sessions for couples who have
Probably
just
engagement with the?
I think it's social media
right?
engagement.
Yeah, it's followers.
I would imagine you mean social media engagement, MCG photos. That's like, it's almost an impossible question to answer. I really don't know. Ask questions, be interactive, provide content that people are interested in. I think that's the biggest thing, is providing content that people are interested in.
Content is king.
Because then they're going to engage with it, right? So again, know your audience on social media. He said, yes, sir. Okay, probably, yeah, definitely that. Know your audience. If you know your audience, you're going to know what they're interested in, and then you can show content that they're going to be interested in. But at the end of the day, be authentic. And if you're building an audience with stuff that you don't really care about, it's probably going to show in the end.
Yeah.
So find that audience who cares about the stuff that you care about, and then cater to that. And I think that's it.
I think consistency too. It's
Sure.
like that's when I want to comment on something. Like, is like when I see they're always active, I'm like, okay, this person is paying attention, right?
Sure.
And it makes me want to interact with someone
Mhm.
as a viewer, on my end. I'm like, this person's providing content all the time. It's like,
Sure.
they're on point.
Yep. It's like the version of old school, like internet forum. They're always posting. So, okay.
You start asking, you start building your audience that way.
Yeah.
I think consistency is key.
I think we're going to get off of Instagram now. If you're listening to this, we'll go live, maybe starting on Instagram whenever we shoot in here and record
Shooting
these
weekly?
podcasts. Yeah. And so Monday afternoons, typically about between 1:30 to 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. And we'll do a little Ask Us Anything.
Every Monday, check in with us, get your questions ready. We're ready to answer them.
Yep, absolutely. All right. We're going to sign off of Instagram. See you guys later. And let me end this. And I will share it. Sweet. All right. Perfect. And I guess we'll move on. We want to talk about news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll take a little break and then we will talk about news. Alrighty, we are back and we are going to get into news now. So we've taken 2 weeks off of the podcast, but I think the biggest thing and the biggest piece of news out there in the industry is from Canon. What? Canon announced the development, which is not something that they really ever do. It's like the first time that I've actually seen them. They usually have a fully functioning product when they release it, but they announced the development of the 1DX Mark III, the successor to my old beast. And
that thing is chunky, dude.
Dude, it is big, it is heavy, but it's the standard for sports photographers. And that's why that's why I think they announced the development, just as simply to say, sports people,
it's coming.
You've got the Olympics coming. Don't jump ship. The A9 II is released. Don't jump ship. We've got,
oh, you think
the
so?
Successor.
Strategy move, chess move, or what?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And what I think, I honestly think this will be the last flagship
1DX?
DSLR, 1DX that they
Really?
I think so. But the specs, it looks like literally the same exact body. From what I see here on the screen at B&H, it looks identical to the old body.
Is that body too big?
No, I don't think so. If you're looking to be nimble, maybe. But the built-in grip, I actually did really like.
Really?
It made vertical shooting so easy, even way
Photos,
better.
For photos.
Yeah.
I remember I shot with it when you had yours, the 1DX Mark II.
Yep.
That thing is beast, dude.
It's huge. But the specs on it
What do we got? What
are,
do we got?
it doesn't say, number one, the megapixel count. So I would assume
Why-
it's not going to be as big as we think it is because they're putting through a ton of data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would assume it's still going to be 20 or 22 or something like that.
Why do you think that is that they didn't say?
They probably haven't finalized the sensor yet, I would imagine. The old one used to do 14 frames per second with a mechanical shutter while looking through the optical viewfinder. This one would do 16. Typically, they jump up 2
Yeah.
per body.
Really?
And then it's actually going to do 20 with the electronic
If
shutter.
you're looking at the LCD on the
If
back.
you're looking at the LCD or mechanical, but I don't think they have continuous autofocus. The old one, the 1DX Mark II, didn't have continuous autofocus when doing that. So if I'm reading off the specs here, during live view, I'm not sure if that's the case. But the huge thing actually here, and why I got rid of the camera, was video.
Yeah.
You would shoot in the motion JPEG format, which was just so chunky.
400 megabytes.
Oh,
Is it 400
at
megabits? or
megabits, yeah, at least. And if you wanted to shoot 4K 60, it was like 800 megabits a second.
Wild.
It'd fill up those CFast 2.0 cards. But this one has CF Express. It's the new one. They're going to be very expensive cards still, but
Yeah.
it's going to allow this camera apparently to do 10-bit 422 internal at up to 4K 60 frames a second in
Dude,
RAW.
that has me hyped, bro. Like I'm like,
In RAW.
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The question is, what's the codec? And nobody knows yet. So if it comes out in like, well, I guess it couldn't be a motion JPEG because JPEG is inherently not RAW. It could be like Cinema DNG, which I've heard. I've never shot in that, but it's essentially a raw picture for every frame, the equivalent of motion JPEG, and it's really hard to edit. And it
Really?
just takes up a ton of space because you're taking a raw photo for every single frame.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe they'll have the all-eye format. So it looks like this camera is really poised to be a second camera for people who already own like a C500 Mark II or a C200.
Well, is it though? Like,
I think so. Yeah. If you want that second camera, compared to those bigger cinema bodies, this body is small for a cinema camera. And it looks like they're finally willing to go back to the 1DC days.
yeah.
Where they had the same camera body style.
I'm still confused on like why these camera makers, and last time we said there is just advertising, why they do really good photography and really good video. It's like, who are they really marketing to? You know, like that's where I'm still at. I'm still stuck on that. It's like, okay, is it for the video? Like,
well, I think this camera, and I could be wrong, but I think this camera in particular is number one geared towards the sport shooters
Photographer,
who
right?
are going to be
Yeah.
doing the Olympics. But I do think that they also believe it'll be a good second camera because now it shoots log again and shoots raw internal and external. That'll be a good second camera for people who are using cinema cameras.
I know that 422 10-bit 4K 60.
Yeah.
I want to see what it's shooting. Is that 4K and you know what size is that?
So they haven't released it looks like they haven't released if there's any
is that
crop.
Super 35? Yeah,
Is it full
cropped
frame?
in? Yeah.
The camera that you're getting that we can talk about in a minute
Ooh,
does
boy.
it in Super 35.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And
but-
it is. I believe it's not 422.
Oh, really?
I think it's 420
420?
4K 60 10
Okay.
bit.
Which still is
So I'm gonna do my research.
which is still okay. So that's big news in the industry right now. The other news, and I guess we can kind of go. Well, let's go on to Fuji before we hit Panasonic. A bunch of reviewers came out with reviews of the new Fujifilm Expro 3, a camera that you were also interested in.
I'm hyped on it. I'm still super hyped on it. I love it. But you said you were looking into it and you saw a couple things that.
So what I didn't realize was that the LCD flips down only. So if you actually want to see the screen on the back of the camera, you can't, like on a Canon camera or another camera, flip it out, turn it around, and then close it so you can see it just like any other LCD. You can only see it flipped down. And if you flip it up, you get that film simulation,
which I love.
or whatever it is.
I love how it displays that film stock that you're shooting in. I love that. So that's a plus for me. I don't know.
Sure. So for me, I don't know. It's $1,800.
It's an expensive camera to get that it has limitations. You know, like that. It's like it's
You're not buying
very
it
specific.
you're not buying it for an all-around camera. You're buying
No.
it because you love Fuji. You love like the old school style.
I think I'm gonna buy it.
Gotta buy a lens with it.
Months. But I think I'm gonna buy it. I love that. It sold me on the film stock, how it shows the film stock on there.
Right.
I love the Fuji colors. I've been wanting a Fuji for a while.
I do love the Fuji colors.
And I like it. I'm rolling.
Right. All right. Well, when you get it, maybe
I'ma get it.
Maybe change my mind. But you know, news that doesn't really affect me very well. Very much.
I'm gonna get that later down the road. I got something now though.
Yeah. So I saw some news that Netflix, because they have a list of approved cameras for
FS7's on that.
Yeah, and they're all cinema cameras, all of them. They've never approved a mirrorless camera before until now when they put the S1H onto that approved list. But you also ordered the S1H, right?
Yeah. I'm so pumped up. So I just purchased the S1H. It comes in tomorrow. Today's Monday. It comes in on Tuesday. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I feel like I made the right choice. I went with the right manufacturer. Panasonic, they've shown that they listen to their customers and they're saying all the right stuff. They're creating the cameras for filmmakers, right? And my main thing was it's a camera that I can grow with. And
Sure.
that Netflix approving it is just another like step in that direction
Sure.
that says like, hey, you can grow with this camera from shooting weddings to shooting commercial work to shooting
So if you ever
a
make
documentary.
if you make a doc one day and
Which I do wanna do.
it's good enough to
Yeah.
sell to somebody, you can pitch it.
Exactly. And it's a camera that you can absolutely keep growing with it. As my work gets better and my storytelling gets better, I can grow with the camera. So I made the purchase, $4,500 something. It hurt me,
Right.
But
Because you bought the adapter.
I bought the MC21 adapter, so
Okay.
I can. Honestly, the Sigma 18-35 from Canon has been with me from the A7S
Sure.
to the GH5,
I remember that.
and now it's gonna come to the S1H. That lens alone has been so valuable, so
Yep.
cheap to buy, but it's been so valuable and it's grown with me. I want a camera that's gonna do the same thing. S1H is that camera. Like,
Would you ever consider getting the cinema version of that lens?
I don't need it. A lot of times, no, I don't. For what I shoot,
Yep.
there's no purpose for it. I don't need
The focus breathing doesn't matter, all
no,
that stuff.
No,
It's good enough.
I'm not gonna upgrade until I see like, okay, I have to upgrade.
Yep.
It requires it. What I do doesn't require. I'm shooting
Absolutely.
weddings, live events, and doing some commercial work.
Sure.
It doesn't require it yet, but I'm so excited. I
Yep.
can't like. I don't.
So what's gonna be your lineup of cameras now?
So I have the Panasonic S1H is
Yep.
camera A. It's my A body. Then I have two GH5s as B and C bodies. And for weddings, you need that A body alone, and then
Yep.
kind of just rocking that B body. And then ceremony, you need 3 to 4 cameras. But that's the main lineup. Even for commercial work, I can work with the S1H and
Sure.
kind of keep. It's a big family. They all have the 5-axis stabilization.
Yep.
The color's gonna be, and then the S1H is just, I can't wait to look at the color on that.
Do you have plans to buy a external recorder so you can
No,
use the RAW?
no, not yet.
Did you
Not
borrow
yet.
one of mine?
Yes, I'm gonna just use your equipment until I have to upgrade. But a lot of the things is like, I'm not gonna purchase it until I have to buy it. You
Yeah.
know, like nobody's asking for RAW. I don't need RAW yet. But when it becomes available, let's shoot with it. See like how crazy it is. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't have to worry about white balance again,
Oh, it's so true.
I'm down with that.
That brings me to my next question. 6K, 400 megabits a second. So big,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you're looking at Canon 1DX
Yeah.
bit rates.
400.
Will your computer handle it? And do you have plans to have to invest in a better graphics card or a bigger computer?
I think we're gonna do proxies for now.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
if
Yeah.
I have to. But honestly, it's been running the the 4K just fine. The 4K 60.
And
on the
are you
GH5.
rocking the
2015 old school?
the MacBook? Same, and this is the one
old
I
school
have.
MacBook.
Okay.
2015. It's
Yep.
Premiere with that latest update. Not the newest update, but the one just before. I think I'm thinking.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded either to the brand new one.
Yeah. What is it? 20.
I don't even know.
Okay, it's working just fine. Like it's rocking. If I see that I need to update my computer, then
Right.
then we're gonna do it.
Turn off all your other programs that are open on the computer.
But I'm not worried about it. I think it can handle it. If it
Yep.
doesn't, then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But dude, I am so pumped to have that 5-axis full frame
Oh yeah.
creaminess, dude. On my weddings, 18 to 35 1.8 all day.
Do you
I'm
have
so hyped.
do you have plans to slowly over time? So what would you rather do first? Would you rather take out the GH5s one by one, or would you rather invest in native glass for the S1H?
No, native glass. I probably won't get native glass for a minute. I
Just
think
because you're doing manual focus anyways.
yeah, I don't need it.
Yep.
Again, I think the next lens is the 50 to 100 with the MC21. It's just that the Sigma 50 to 100.
That's a crop sense or lens, just like the. Oh.
No. That's a Canon mount. 50 to 100.
No. Oh no, we got to talk about this.
Wait, what?
The 18 to 35 and the 50 to 100 are both crop lenses. So
Are they?
So you won't be able to get that full frame 18 millimeters. You'll see super vignetting.
All right, if that's the case.
I didn't think about
Are
that.
they crop? I thought they were full frame. No, they're full frame.
No.
Yeah.
They're full frame mount, but they're not full frame lenses. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do some research
Okay.
tomorrow when I get it, and if that is the case, so
in 4K 60, when it shoots Super 35, then it'll fill the whole image circle.
okay,
You got to drop more money on lenses.
okay. So we're gonna put in more money into the business.
But Canon lenses you can buy so cheap.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. If it is, so first of all, do your research when you're buying gear.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I just burst
Thanks,
your
bro.
bubble.
Thanks, bro.
Sorry, man.
But regardless,
Do you get that 16 to 35 f4 from Canon? You probably pick it up used for like
I don't want
$600.
F4s. I don't.
No?
I hate F4s. No, I want the butter.
That 1.8 equivalent is what? It's like a 2 point something.
I'm gonna do my research.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not that educated on it, obviously. I just wanted
Sorry.
the S1H. So we'll see. Next week, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna give you a review, quick little, not review, just a rundown on how it went.
Yeah.
Because I do have an event on Friday. We're shooting some commercial work again.
Just shoot all 4K 60 and
we're-
then you won't have to worry about it.
We're gonna do 5K 5.9
Yeah.
on an 18. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna shoot that. I don't need all that. But
What are the high frame rates on that camera? Other than 4K 60, does it do the...
it does 100. I don't know if it does 120 and 240 or whatever.
Okay, because I know the GH5s go all the way up to 180.
I've never used
Right?
it. I never use it. I
Right.
just need the 60.
There's some
It's
cool...
too slow for me.
I know. Well, yeah, definitely for like people walking and
It's
stuff,
too
or
slow
even
for
what
my
I shoot
work.
is too slow. But to like experiment with other types of video for like commercial work or something like
Yeah.
that, it could be really interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. So tomorrow I'm gonna get it. So next episode, I'm gonna give you a little rundown on how. it
Solid.
went. I'm so hyped.
I'm
Maybe we'll
looking
do a little
forward to it.
unboxing.
Oh yeah,
Do a
maybe.
little unboxing video. I know you got a new setup here.
Yeah, that's true. We might be able to make that work. All right, cool. I think that's it for the news. Do we have any other news that we want to talk about?
No, but I do have a little rundown on a couple purchases that I made.
Oh,
We
sweet.
can just run through it.
Yeah.
So I bought the MC21
Yep.
along with the S1H. I bought a new tripod. So this is just gear bag question. Just gear bag.
Yep.
What's in my gear bag? And new purchases. News for me. Benro S6 tripod.
You had another Benro tripod.
I have the Benro S7 carbon fiber tripod.
Oh.
$600. So I kind of bought the cheaper S6 aluminum for $300,
Yeah.
and then bought some Manfrotto light stands for $120 each. So
Okay.
just doing the basic purchases
Yep.
that suck.
It's like spending money on plumbing in your house.
I
It's boring,
hate it.
but you need it.
I hate it. $600 on support.
You could have bought a new lens.
I could have bought a new lens, but I didn't. And now I need a new lens, according to you. So I'm screwed.
It's all right.
Anyways, that's all I got for news in my life.
Solid. I got in the SwitchPod from SwitchPod. Hand me that backpack over there. It's a pretty sweet little item. Yeah. So, for those of you who are listening right now, you can go and check out, I think it's switchpod.co.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, I backed this on Kickstarter, though, and it's really cool. I really enjoy using it. I have a little Joby GorillaPod head on there.
Bruh.
But
I hurt someone with that.
It's nice. I've thought about even just using this for my YouTube videos, like setting it here and shooting with the 16 mil on the A6400, just having a little shotgun mic and just getting out more content. It makes it so I don't have to like set up stuff. I can take it with me, have a tripod anywhere, and it's way more solid than the GorillaPods.
Yeah.
The GorillaPods are good for what they do. You can put them anywhere. They can wrap around. This isn't going to be great on uneven surfaces like the GorillaPod.
Has to be flat, huh?
Relatively flat, I think, but it's...
What's the appeal from it, that it's like just folds up?
It folds up. It's a tiny form factor. You can slide it in like the water bottle holder. You can just keep it everywhere. So it's like that piece of gear that you can keep everywhere. Vloggers can use it. I think that's how they marketed a lot of it.
For vloggers?
For vloggers. But... yeah, man. You can just use it for a lot of stuff.
Dope. It looks dope. I'll tell you that. It looks like a weapon. I think you can hurt someone with it.
Oh, yeah. No, if somebody's coming after your girl, man, you can do some damage with this
It's a vlogger self-defense item right there.
Exactly. Get those thieves out of the way.
For real.
But, I mean, I'm always getting in new gear from companies, but I think I'm attempting to move into a more, as minimalist as I can be, to not have too much gear. I really would like to sell.
So you mean you don't want a room full of like your bat cave full of gear anymore, or what?
I do, but just different gear, right? I need to sell off, all my extra.
How many bags do you have? Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. How many bags do you actually have?
Just too many, probably like 10. But selling off stuff like that. I sold my drone because I never use it.
What drone did you sell?
I love the idea. I've sold every drone that I've ever owned just because I shoot with it for a little amount of time. And then,
drone stays in my bag. That ain't going anywhere.
I know.
Have to have a drone.
But
I have to have it.
I don't, and I live in an area that it just isn't particularly beautiful on a day-to-day basis.
1 hour drive, you're somewhere beautiful.
I know. If I can ever get away, I might buy a drone.
Hey,
but
burnout. We got to talk about that next episode.
Yes, we will talk about burnout and how to combat it. I'm going to sell my Ronin S. Just because I have 2 gimbals, man.
I was so surprised when you texted me that and you said you were going to sell. I was like, what?
I mean, the Feiyutech AK-4500, and I'll try and release a review on that.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's essentially the same gimbal, but it has, the ability to have a wider 2-handle setup. I like the small rig setup. I'd say I love that small rig setup, but I just don't need 2 gimbals. And so...
I might have to buy that small rig setup off you.
Try to buy it, man. It's just first world problems, dude. First world problems having too much gear that I don't necessarily need. I love all the lighting that I have. I'm not selling the lighting. I use it constantly. I just want to sell off, a lot of the extra gear that I don't use because I'd love to invest in a cinema camera one day.
FX9 or FX6.
Yeah, no. If Sony releases that, like the next 6 months or something, even if it's Super 35, I'm sure the autofocus will be great. I'm sure the low light will be great. I definitely want to invest in something
I think
like
you
that.
should buy the FX9, sell your A7 IIIs.
The thing is, it's so big. Like the FX9 is chunky. I love the FS5.
You're in the same environment. You're in the gym. You know where you're going to be. You can set it up. Like that's the perfect person that would need a cinema camera. Is like you're always... You know what your subject is.
I'm waiting.
You're not running gun. You know where you're at.
I know. I'm waiting to just see the options that are out there, though. I want to have the ability to look at the FX9, see if there's an FX6, and if Sony will ever release something that resembles an A7S Mark III.
That's a lot of waiting, dude. That's a lot of waiting.
And at this point, I'm okay with that. I'll wait.
No, buy something new.
I know, right? I know. Buy something new so we can talk about it.
Come on.
But I'll wait and hopefully make an educated decision on whatever it is. And I hope to just up the production value that much more. And I don't shoot a lot of client work anymore just because I'm so busy. But I want the ability to say, I have the ability to do this. I have
Yeah.
the ability to shoot with this kind of quality where you can, like you said, like a doc one day or something
Yeah.
like that. I can shoot in 4K or 6K or have the ability to shoot raw,
Yeah.
just to have fun with it. I love I love being able to change colors and not having the image quality degrade. And I just want the ability to mess around with stuff. That's half of my enjoyment with shooting is fiddling, solving a problem, figuring out like, oh, this just looks so much better. I love
Yeah.
that. So probably a cinema camera's in my future, even though I don't need it, man. First world problems. Who doesn't
need
do
it.
a lot of client work but owns a cinema camera?
Yeah, you.
It's stupid.
You.
But
Worth
one day.
it. Worth it.
One day. But thank you guys for listening and just listening to us ramble. I feel like this was kind of a more authentic podcast. We got to ramble on those Instagram questions. If you're listening, definitely make sure to subscribe on iTunes. I think we're on Google Podcasts now. We finally got on there. Buzzsprout, Spotify. Yeah. And you can sometimes, not every time, watch the podcast as well on the Brotographer's YouTube channel. So make sure and subscribe and give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell. Write hopefully a nice review. Give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars on iTunes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But we'll try and be a little bit more consistent with these podcasts coming out in the future. A lot of that's on me, but we'll get there, and maybe we can start having some guests.
Let's do it. Bring them on.
I would love to have a guest in here, talk to them, hear some interesting stories, get some advice. Hopefully not burnout. Maybe we can talk about burnout next week, but just how to manage your life and all that good stuff. But I think that's it, man.
Sweet.
We're still recording. We're good. But yeah, find us on Instagram at The Brotographer and
Capture Color Weddings.
Capture Color Weddings. That's
Colors, COLOUR.
the English way.
There you go. They're cooler.
Yeah. And follow us there. We post a lot. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, for watching. And this has been the Shooters Club. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.